Hello, David.
Hello, teacher.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Excellent. Now tell me, what did you do today?
Um, uh, I'm uh, I'm go in the morning. I'm go to school and
Mhm.
at mm, 3 p.m. w- went swimming with my cousin.
Okay, that's nice. So a normal day, basically. Okay, so
Yeah.
last time we talked about uh using public transport, and we discussed how I just want to check something quickly. We talked about how if all the people that have cars stop using their cars and start using like public transport like buses and all the things like that, then we agree that it won't really solve the problem of environmental impact. And and we tried to think of alternative ways for people just to travel in the city. For example, you said they can use electric bike like you have, but yes. Anyway, let's continue. So I want you to read the supporting opinion for me, please. Whenever you're ready, can you please read the supporting opinion?
Yes. When we travel somewhere, it's always better to use public transportation. First, it's usually much cheaper. This is because passengers only need to pay a small fee. They don't have to pay for fuel or the cost. Second, public transportation is better for the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Many processes use green energy and clean fuels. Most cars use gasoline. It makes the air dirty. If everybody uses public transportation more, the world will be cleaner.
Okay, and please read the opposing opinion.
Traveling by car is much better than using public transportation. First, driving cars is fast. This is because drivers can travel directly to their destination. We don't have to worry about missing the bus or train. Second, it's easier for families to travel by car. Everybody has a seat. Young children can play happily. They do not bother other passengers. Also, drivers have less stress if their families have a lot of baggage.
Baggage.
baggage. They don't have to carry it around.
Okay, so here they mentioned something we did not think about. Um, we did not think about alternative fuels. But anyway, this word here is pronounced fuel. It's like as if it's as if we're saying fuel. Okay. So yes, so basically what they're arguing is that let me get the highlighter out. Uh, passengers only need to pay a small fee. Oh wait, where's the eraser? Only need to pay a small fee. You don't have to pay for fuel or other costs. Cars use gasoline, makes you dirty. Everybody's looking for more, will be cleaner. Okay, so one thing I want you to think about. They say many buses use green energy and clean fuels, which is good. But what they're not saying is all buses use green energy and clean fuels. Like last time we talked about that if everybody stopped driving their own cars, then bus companies needs to buy new buses, right? To help with the number
Yes,
of people that drive them. So there is a thing in business called supply and demand. And usually if you have a business, you always try to satisfy the demand. Because if you oversupply, you lose money. If you undersupply, you lose potential money. Um, and the moment people stop driving their own cars and start using buses, for example, then a bus company will have a high demand, a very high demand. And the companies that make buses, like the factories, will also have a high demand. Then, if they are wise, they will like, okay, we can sell a lot of buses, let's bump up the price. And if the bus companies pay the buses at a higher price, the people riding on the buses will pay a higher price. And in the end, it might be good for the environment, but those people that cannot really afford higher fees or bus fees will stop using the buses. They would rather walk, or they would still go to people like that use taxis and stuff like that. They would rather ask them for help. That's one thing to remember. That they say not all buses use green energy. So also, if green energy and clean fuels or buses that use these energies are very expensive and companies need to buy a lot of them, they will buy normal buses that use diesel instead of gasoline or green energy, and that will also not be very good for the environment. So I don't really think there is a win in this situation, or according to this argument. If you go one way, somewhere else you're going to make a mess. If you go the other way, you'll just make your own mess bigger. And let's look over here. Traveling by car is much better than using public transportation. First, driving cars is fast. Yes, but it's also a lot. Hmm. I think it's faster, yes, because buses are limited at the speed that they should drive. Cars not really that low. They're not limited that low, at least. And this is because drivers can travel directly to the destination. Yes, there are some buses that also do the same, so that's not really a good reason. You can get a direct train ticket or a direct plane ticket. So, and if you take a taxi, you don't really need your own car, but you can do it almost everywhere. They have to worry about missing the bus or train. That's correct, but they then have to worry about. If you don't have to worry about missing the bus or train, what do you have to worry about? What do you think?
mm, I think we have to worry about the environment because many car use gasoline
Okay, no,
like
that's not what I'm asking.
to
I'm asking if you don't have to worry about missing the bus or train, what else do you have to worry about? Do you understand?
yes.
It's not about the environment, although you have a valid answer, but it's not what it's not the question I want. It's not the answer I was looking for.
Um,
You have to worry about
I,
being late
oh
because if you use the bus regularly, you just have to be in time to catch the bus, right? And if the bus is
yes,
late, it's out of your control. You cannot climb behind the wheel and say, okay, let me drive. No. If the bus is late, you're going to be late. But if you drive your own car and you're not so sure how long it is or how far you have to drive, and you don't think about, let's say that you don't think about distance. Come on, distance. Oh no, man. You don't worry about distance, and you don't worry about traffic in a bus. But with a car, you do. So now you are the instead of becoming a passenger on the bus, you're in a sense becoming the driver. Do you understand?
yes,
Yes, although it's not that bad, you'll get used to when you have to drive and you can learn the road. But at first, if you take your own car instead of a bus, you have to worry about getting there in time. And the second reason I gave is your families travel by car. It's yes, because if you have a big family and you have to go somewhere, using the bus or train can get expensive, and you have to worry about if you maybe forgot something on the bus or on the train, and if you forget something on the bus or the train, I can guarantee you it's gone. You will either have to call the train company or the bus company and tell them you've lost something on the bus, and then they will send someone to find it. Then you have to trust them that if they find it, they will say that they have it. So both have their pros and their cons, but I don't think going to that extreme of um, using buses or trains instead of cars is really that good idea because buses have routes. Like, let's say this is a city, right?
yes,
There's a
yes,
road, there's a road, there's a road. Then you have roads in between. So if a bus starts here, it can either go up, all this way, which is a very long way to drive. Or it can go down. The shorter way, I would say. Or it can go all around and then it goes in, out, in, out, in, out, and so on. So you have to wait until the bus reaches your stop. Or you have to catch one bus to the next stop, the next bus to the next stop, and so on forth. The same with trains. Trains cannot drive you to the mall. They can drive you within walking distance, but they can't drive you to the mall. If you have a car, you can drive to the mall. For example, you can drive to the office. You can drive somewhere. So still, I would think because of that, that bus routes and train routes are not that flexible, people will still try to find another way.
mm,
Do you understand?
yes,
Yes, like for you example, if you see the bus is too full or you're late for the train, you can always go back and get on your electric bike, right?
Yeah.
It won't be it might be a little slower than a bus, but at least you won't have to stop the whole time, which makes it longer. So let's say let's imagine there's a straight road, and this is where you begin, this is where you want to end. And then the bus have, like, let's say 4 stops before it gets to the end. So it drives, it stops, it waits. 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 It drives, and then you're there. With a bike, you can just go straight.
Yes.
Yes. So the other thing I want you to remember, people don't really think about, we don't, I've never heard someone or I've never met someone that thought about, okay, I want to buy a car. What impact do I have on the environment? I've never heard someone talk about that. And if they do, they still bought a car, but they bought a car that runs on batteries and gasoline, which also can reduce dirty air, like they said here. It also will reduce because you use less fuel. So I would say the alternative is not using buses. I would say it's switching to making cars use green energy. Why don't they do that? Do you see? Do you understand,
No.
David? Like if a bus can use green energy, why don't they create a car that can do the same? That way, because the issue isn't buses on cars, the issue is this. Did you notice that? That's the issue.
Like problem.
Yes, that's the problem. That's the main problem this whole thing is about. If you drive your car, you're polluting the air because your car uses this. Now they want you to go pay a company. Every single time that you get on a bus, you have to pay something because that bus uses green energy. Why don't they just make a car that use this? Right? I think that's a way better option than just forcing people to drive a bus. That's just
Yeah.
what I think. But anyway, let's continue. So tell me, is public transportation really better for the environment?
Yes.
Why?
Because many buses use mm, green energy and fuels.
What was that word? Clean fuels.
No clean fuel.
Oh, another thing you have to think about. Let's imagine this is the wheel of a car, right? A car
Yes.
has 5 wheels. It drives on 4, but it has a spare. So a car has 5 rubber tires. A bus has 2 in the front that are bigger, and then they have usually 8 at the back. So let's see. On this side, there's 2, 4, 4. That's what they usually. That's what buses look like in South Africa. They have 10 wheels, and then they have a spare, so that makes it 11 wheels. So yes, we will might be. It might be better for the environment because we use green energy and clean fuels, but we have to use more rubber.
Yep.
So that's what I would argue. Yes, using renewable energy is a good way, or renewable fuel is the good way to save the environment. But if that's the only thing they're going to do, then it's not really that good because tires, you have to change tires often, especially if you drive a lot. And where do you go with those tires? To the dump site. So it pollutes the ground and the earth and places where animals used to live. Okay, number two. Will you prefer to use a subway if it is twice as fast as a car?
Mm, yes,
Why?
because use us using a subway can make the environment better and reduce the fumes.
And there again, we go with the same problem. If, let's say, for example, you just have to think about these things. If everyone uses a subway, they have to build more subways because subways can only handle so much people. So they have to make it bigger. And construction is usually not good for the environment. Okay, David, I'm quickly going to close this and start a new one. Please join as soon as you can, okay?
Yes.
Okay.